Well, why do we work? Hi, I'm Dan Miller, your coach through this process. Now, I've spent 17 years coaching people to find their purpose, fulfill their dreams, and move to higher levels of success in multiple life areas. And yet I've repeatedly helped some people see what success would mean for them, only to meet them again 2 years later and find they had done nothing to walk out the plans we had laid out. The concept of a 48 days timeline came out of the frustration I saw people who had gotten a glimpse of what a better life could be, and yet they got trapped in kind of their own version of Groundhog Day, where they simply repeated yesterday over and over again. No, there has to be a timeline for taking definitive action. 48 days is enough time to identify clearly, where am I? What is the advice and opinion of others I respect? What are my alternatives for moving toward the life I want? What's the best plan of action? What will I do immediately to start this plan of action? Now, without a clear timeline, it's very easy to just continue doing what you've become accustomed to doing. The Bible is very clear that God considers 40 days to be a spiritually significant time period. In fact, in the Bible, any time God wanted to prepare people for something better, He took 40 days. I'm giving you 8 free days in the process to create your own plan. So take a break on Sundays and a couple of Saturdays. Don't knock yourself out. Just stay committed to this time frame to avoid the usual procrastination. 48 days can move you to a new place in your journey toward success. Now, here's what we want to cover in this first session. These are your challenges for the 48 days process. You're going to have to be prepared to respond because changes are inevitable. Know yourself so completely that there will be a sense of continuity even as the changes occur around you. And as you work through the process, be encouraged. There really is hope. The options today are limitless. You really can be prepared, focused, and ready to move forward with the confidence, boldness, and enthusiasm that project you into the next work opportunity. Now, in your study guide, you'll have the opportunity to explore the changes, understand yourself, go through the traditional steps of finding a career, and also look at the expanding area of non-traditional work. So what is work? Now, Webster's dictionary defines work as bodily or mental effort exerted to do or make something or purposeful activity. By using that definition, then people who hate their jobs aren't really working. They may be doing something to occupy their time or create a paycheck, but they're not working. Now, here's a quotation from James Michener that I love to use as a goal when working with something on finding meaningful work. Here's that quotation. The master in the art of living makes little distinction between his work and his play, his labor and his leisure, his mind and his body, his information and his recreation, his love and his religion. He hardly knows which is which. He simply pursues his vision of excellence at whatever he does, leaving others to decide whether he is working or playing. To him, he's always doing both. Now, I want you to make that your goal in your work, to have your work and play so blended together, flowing out of the same motivations, so that even you can hardly tell if you're working or playing. Now, that is a reasonable goal. Your work and your play should be enjoyable activity to produce a desired result. So be confident that your work serves as much more than just a paycheck. Now, you may ask, well, Dan, isn't work just a curse from God? Wow, I still hear that frequently. And the Bible does tell us in Genesis, cursed is the ground because of you. Through painful toil you will eat of it all the days of your life. It will produce thorns and thistles for you, and you will eat the plants of the field. By the sweat of your brow you will eat your food until you return to the ground, since from it you were taken, for dust you are, and to dust you will return. However, as I continue to read through Scriptures, I begin to notice a new perspective on work. If work was only a punishment for evil, why does the Bible continuously tell us to enjoy our work? Even Solomon, in his most pessimistic moments, told us that every man find pleasure in his work. This is a gift of God. In Colossians, we're told to work hard and cheerfully at all you do, just as though you were working for the Lord and not merely for your masters or bosses. And you know what? God even seems to be promising work as a reward in eternity. Are you surprised? It says in Isaiah, the saved will build houses, plant vineyards, and shall long enjoy the work of their hands. So work is not a curse. It's our greatest opportunity for meaningful accomplishment, our greatest opportunity to live out God's purpose for our lives, and our greatest opportunity for true ministry. If you believe it's a curse, you'll spend the greatest portion of your time believing you are just enduring this non-meaningful use of your time. What a travesty that would be. So why are you here? Here are the feelings workshop candidates often express. They may say, Dan, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. I need to have a great job search strategy. I may want to start my own business. Or I just got fired and my self-confidence is at an all-time low. I don't know what's unique about me or how to market my skills. Or maybe you're saying, I've just been downsized, don't know what to do next. Well, let's look at why we work. In asking this question, I typically get the following responses: to pay the bills, for food, clothing, and shelter, because I'm expected to combat boredom, for self-worth, maybe for social stimulation, because it gives me a place to go every day. And yet I encounter a lot of people who are leaving their traditional jobs because they want to do something more significant. Now, one lady who had just resigned from her $74,000 a year job told me that she wanted to do something noble. I hear a lot of people saying they want to make a difference, to make the world a better place, to do something that really makes a difference. In his book titled Prayer, Richard Foster says, the work of our hands and of our minds is acted out prayer. It's a love offering to the living God. St. Augustine adds, to work is to pray. Now there's an old Hebrew term, avodah, from which we get both of our words, work and worship. Now in that Hebrew culture, what a person was doing on Thursday morning was just as much an expression of worship as being in the synagogue on the Sabbath. Is that the way you've been feeling about your work? That it's a prayer offering to God? Or are you thinking that perhaps God looks the other way when you go to work? Could that part of your life actually be an expression of your calling? Now, we work as a way to give expression to our innermost being, to put legs in our purpose, the reason we were created. Anything less, and we're just trading our time for a paycheck. Now, I know you're not willing to settle for that. So let's recap. I want you to get excited. You're about to embark on a positive shift to clear direction, life balance, and fulfilling work.